Let me tell you something most people never want to admit. We don't fail because life is too hard. We fail because we let life hit us, and we never hit back. You see, life is not sunshine and rainbows. Life is mean. Life is brutal. Life will beat you to your knees and keep you there if you let it. Just like the message you've heard 1,000 times in motivational speeches, but still haven't truly understood. But the truth is this, it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. People fail because they don't want to get hit. They're afraid of the pain, the discomfort, the sacrifice. They want success, but they don't want it bad enough. Not bad enough to lose sleep. Not bad enough to say no to distractions. Not bad enough to choose discipline over pleasure. Not bad enough to bleed for it. And that's the first reason we fail. 1. We fail because we want results without pain. You say you want success. You say you want a better body. You say you want a better life. But when it's time to act, when it gets hard, when it gets boring, when it gets painful, you quit. You stop studying because you're tired. You stop working because you're frustrated. You stop chasing your dreams because they don't come fast enough. But listen, pain is temporary. Quitting is forever. You already heard this message before. You already know it to be true. Yet every time life pushes you, you run. Every time life tests you, you hide. Every time life demands more from you, you choose the comfortable path, and that's why you fail. Not because you're weak, not because you're not talented, not because you're not capable, but because you don't want it bad enough to endure the pain required. 2. We fail because we let fear decide our future. Fear of failing, fear of looking stupid, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough. Most people spend their entire lives running from fear, instead of using fear as fuel. But hear this. Your deepest fear isn't that you're inadequate. Your deepest fear is that you are powerful beyond measure. And that power terrifies you. It shakes you. It forces you to confront the truth. You could be great, truly great, if you stopped running from yourself. We let fear take the wheel. We let fear silence our potential. We let fear shrink our dreams. That is why we fail. Not because the dream is impossible, but because the dream demands courage, and courage is uncomfortable. 3. We fail because we never decide who we want to be. People kind of want success, kind of want greatness, kind of want change. But kind of wanting something gets you nowhere. At some point, you must dig deep, deep down into your soul, into your truth, and ask yourself, who do you want to be? Not what people want you to be. Not what society expects you to be. Not what your fears say you are. Who do you want to be? Until you answer that question, you will continue to fail. Because success only begins after a decision. A real decision, a final decision, a no turning back decision. As the file says, make a choice. Just decide. Decide what your life is going to look like. Decide what you're willing to sacrifice. Decide who you're going to become. Because the second you decide, really decide, your world changes. 4. We fail because we don't protect our dreams. You got a dream, you gotta protect it. You've heard this line before, but do you live it? People will tell you you can't do it because they can't do it. People will project their limits, their fears, their failures onto you. And most people let that noise kill their dream. Not because the dream is wrong. Not because the dream is impossible. But because the dream needs protection. And you didn't protect it. You let opinions stop you. You let criticism break you. You let the world convince you that you are smaller than you truly are. That is why we fail. 5. We fail because we confuse talent with effort. You're not bad at math. You just never studied. You're not a bad writer. You just never practiced. You're not unlucky. You're undisciplined. You're not incapable. You're inconsistent. Talent is natural. Skill is earned. Hours and hours and hours of work, sacrifice, repetition, failure, correction, more failure, more correction. That's how greatness is built, but most people don't want to hear that. They want the shortcut, the hack, the easy way. And that's exactly why they fail. Sakibu during Mass 6, we fail because we stop getting up. Every champion has been knocked down. Every success story is built on failure. Every legend has been broken, bruised, and beaten by life, but they got back up. Again and again and again. In your file, there is a moment where the voice screams, "Get up, get up, get up, and don't ever give up." And that's the essence of why some people succeed and most people fail. It's not wins that separate us. It's the willingness to stand up after the losses. 7. We fail because we blame other people for our life. The moment you start pointing fingers, Waburous, you lose your power. He did this. She said that. I'm here because of them. No. You are where you are because of your choices, your decisions, your actions. In your file, it's written clearly, cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. 1. That is the essence of responsibility. That is the foundation of growth. That is the moment your life begins to change. So why do we fail? Because we choose the easy path. Because we surrender to fear. Because we refuse to decide. Because we don't protect our dreams. Because we stop when life hits us. Because we blame instead of build. But here's the truth you need to walk away with today. You are not done. You are not broken. And your failure is not final. This is only the beginning. And in part 2, we're going to talk about how to rise, how to fight back, and how to rebuild your life inch by inch, no matter how deep the hole is. You've already heard why we fail, but now we need to talk about something even more important. How do we rise? How do we come back when life has crushed us? How do we rebuild ourselves when we feel like there's nothing left to rebuild? Because winning isn't magic. Winning isn't luck. Winning isn't natural talent. Winning is a choice you must make every single day. 1. You rise by taking responsibility. The moment your life changes, the exact moment, is when you say these words, "This is on me." Not on your parents, not on your boss, not on society, not on luck, not on the past. It's on you. Responsibility is not punishment. Responsibility is the beginning of power. Because when you stop blaming, you stop waiting. And when you stop waiting, you start doing. Every time you say, "It's my fault," you unlock a new level of strength you didn't know you had. Why? Because if it's your fault, then you can fix it. That's the psychology champions understand. Not, "Why did this happen to me?" but "What can I do now?" 2. You rise by fighting back inch by inch. In the darkest moments of your life, it never feels like you can win. It feels like you're drowning. It feels like you're trapped. It feels like everything is too big, too heavy, too far gone. But hear this. You don't climb out of hell all at once. You climb out 1 inch at a time. One small step, one small win, one small promise kept to yourself. That's how real change begins. People always think transformation is massive and dramatic. But the truth is the opposite. Transformation happens quietly, silently, in tiny moments when no one is watching. Like waking up 5 minutes earlier. Like doing 1 more push-up. Like studying 10 extra minutes. Like choosing honesty instead of excuses. Those inches stack up. Those inches become momentum. And momentum becomes a force nothing can stop. 3. You rise by embracing the pain. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is the doorway to who you are meant to become. Every champion you admire, every athlete, every creator, every leader, they all have one thing in common. They didn't run from the pain. They ran toward it. Because pain is feedback. Pain is growth. Pain is proof that you're doing the work most people avoid. The difference between the person you are and the person you want to become lies in the amount of pain you're willing to endure. When you feel tired, keep going. When you feel broken, keep going. When you feel like quitting, especially then, keep going. Because the pain you feel today is the strength you'll carry tomorrow. Quitting keeps you weak, enduring makes you powerful. 4. You rise by developing unbreakable discipline. Discipline is not motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. It rises and falls. Discipline is a promise you make to yourself, a contract, and you don't break that contract ever. You study even when you're tired. You work even when you don't feel like working. You show up even when your mind screams at you to stay comfortable. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. Without it, you remain the same. With it, you become unstoppable. Real discipline feels like sacrifice. Not going out with friends, not spending money you don't have, not wasting time on distractions that don't build you. Success is built on the foundation of the things no one sees you doing. Discipline is lonely, but so is greatness. 5. You rise by sacrificing who you are for who you can become. In the motivational material you gave me, there's a powerful message. To be able at any moment, sacrifice what you are for what you will become. That sentence is everything. You cannot evolve while holding on to the old version of yourself. If you want a new life, something must die. Your laziness, your excuses, your comfort, your old habits, your old story. The story you keep repeating to yourself. I can't. I'm not good enough. I've failed before. That story needs to go because you are not the same person you were yesterday. And you don't have to be the same person tomorrow. You rise by standing back up. Every single time. Everyone falls. Everyone gets hit. Everyone breaks. But not everyone gets back up. Some people stay down. Some people give up. Some people accept a life far smaller than the one they deserve. But you are not done. You are not weak. You are not a victim. You rise every time you decide to rise. And the thing that separates winners from everyone else is not strength, not talent, not intelligence. It's persistence, the willingness to keep getting up. Every day, every failure, every mistake, every heartbreak, get up, get up, get up, and don't ever give up. Winners are built in the moments where most people quit. 7. You rise by believing you are meant for more. Belief is the spark that lights the fire. You don't need the whole world to believe in you. You don't need approval. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You need one thing: yourself. You need to believe you can become the best version of your life story. You need to believe that something different can happen. You need to believe that you are capable of greatness. Because the truth is simple. He who says I can and he who says I can't are both right. So what are you choosing? Who are you choosing to become? What future are you stepping into? You've been pushed. You've been hurt. You've been lost. You've been defeated, but you're still here, and that means something. It means your story isn't over. It means your strength hasn't been used yet. It means there is still a version of you waiting to be unleashed. In part 3, we go into the final transformation. How to turn your struggle into purpose, your pain into power, and your failure into the greatest comeback of your life. You've learned why we fail. You've learned how to rise. Now, this is the part where you transform, because the truth is, you're not meant to stay broken. You're meant to become unstoppable. And this last chapter, this final piece, is about turning everything you've been through into the fuel that will carry you for the rest of your life. What one? Transformation begins when you stop hiding your pain. Most people hide their pain. They bury it. They pretend it isn't there. They walk through life with a smile that isn't real, a confidence that isn't true. But listen, pain is not your weakness. Pain is your power. Your broken heart, your failures, your disappointments. They are not weights holding you down. They are tools shaping you, carving you, building you into someone unshakable. Every scar has a story. Every mistake has a lesson. Every tear has a message. And when you stop hiding your pain, when you bring it to the surface, that's when it transforms. Pain only controls you when you avoid it. But when you face it, when you sit with it, when you confront it head on, it becomes strength. 2. Transformation happens when you rewrite your story. For years, maybe your whole life, you've been telling yourself a story. I'm not smart enough. I'm not lucky enough. I'm not like those successful people. But here's the truth no one ever told you. Your story isn't written in ink. It's written in decisions. And you can rewrite it anytime. Think about that. Everything you thought you were, everything you believed was permanent, all of it can change. You're not defined by your past. You're defined by what you choose next. You can choose courage. You can choose discipline. You can choose growth. You can choose to rise at any moment. Because transformation isn't a miracle. Transformation is a choice, repeated daily. 3. Transformation demands that you go all in. Most people fail because they never go all in. They tiptoe into their dreams. They test the water. They try just enough. But greatness has never been achieved by people who kind of wanted it. If you want to change your life, if you truly want to become the person you were meant to be, you have to dive in, fully, completely, fearlessly. You can't hold on to your old habits and expect a new future. You can't keep your excuses and expect new results. You can't cling to comfort and expect growth. At some point, you must say, I'm all in, no matter what. No backup plan. No safety net. No escape route. Just you, your purpose, and the fire inside you. 4. Transformation is a war. And you must fight to win. You're not battling the world. You're not battling your circumstances. You're not battling other people. You're battling yourself, your doubt, your fear, your weaknesses, your habits, your past. This is a personal war. And if you don't fight, you lose. But if you fight, if you show up every day, if you push harder than you think is possible, you win the war. And when you win the war against yourself, there is nothing left in this world that can stop you. You become untouchable. 5. Transformation requires purpose. A reason bigger than yourself. You won't become your greatest self just for money. You won't become unstoppable just to impress people. You won't rise from your darkest moments without a deeper purpose. You need a why that makes the struggle worth it. Ask yourself, what are you fighting for? Who are you becoming? What does your future demand from you? Because when your purpose is strong, your excuses disappear. Your fear becomes irrelevant. Your obstacles become tiny. Purpose gives you direction. Purpose gives you fire. Purpose gives you the courage to suffer now so you can live free later. 6. Transformation is proven through consistent action. You can think positively. You can read books. You can watch motivational videos. You can listen to speeches. But if you don't act, nothing changes. Consistency is the final test, the hardest test, the test that separates dreamers from doers. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can feel inspired after a video. Anyone can talk about goals, but only a few, a rare few, show up every day, even on the bad days, even on the empty days, even on the exhausted days. Consistency is the proof that you're serious. Consistency is the proof that you're transformed. And once you become consistent, your life cannot stay the same. 7. Transformation is complete when you realize the power was always in you. This is the moment, the realization, the truth that hits you like lightning. You had the power all along, not in some motivational cliche way, but in a real, undeniable, life-changing way. The strength you needed, it was inside you. The courage you prayed for, inside you. The discipline you thought you lacked, inside you. The ability to rewrite your future, inside you. You were never powerless. You were never broken beyond repair. You were never destined to fail. You were simply waiting to unlock the part of you that refuses to quit, refuses to break, refuses to settle. Transformation is not becoming someone new. It's becoming who you were meant to be all along. So hear me clearly. Your failure is not the end. Your mistakes are not your identity. Your pain is not your prison. You are still writing the story. And your next chapter can be the greatest comeback ever written. But it starts today. Not tomorrow, not one day, not when life gets easier. Today, you get to decide, will you stay down or will you rise? Will you repeat your old story? Or will you rewrite your future? Will you let fear control you? Or will you unleash your potential? This is your moment, your turning point, your rebirth. Stand up, rise, fight, transform. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. And you were born to break through them.